Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to go over what's going in this food bag on the NPT. Hope you stick around and find out. Told you I'd go over a few things, and this is one of the big ones that I think a lot of people are into, is knowing what nutrition do you need to bring out, what kind of food, and some considerations right off the bat is, are you going to be able to spend extra money on some of these backpacking meals, or are you going to try to pare it down into some things you can get at the average store like Wegmans or Walmart or whatever you got nearby. So for me personally, I buy a lot of backpacking meals, and that's just because I like the ease of it. I also cook a lot of food, especially in the winter time, that I buy at the store, bring out, because you can carry a lot more weight. You're not going as far in the winter, and usually you got a sled or you got something like that, and you're expecting to bring extra weight in the winter. I don't buy it for everything, and you'll see in my meal plan that I have a couple other options in there. And the other big considerations that somebody's going to want to look at is calories. How many calories do you need? I don't think people really take this into consideration as much, and they just kind of pack and eyeball it. Me personally, I think it's easier just to do the math. So the first step to knowing what your actual calorie intake that you're going to need on the trail is to look at your normal metabolic rate, which there's calculators out online. Just Google it. But for me, I'm about 160 pounds, and I'm in my 30s. So my metabolic rate, just resting all day, is about 1,680 calories. So then the next part is you want to look at what's your expected mileage. For my calculation, I do 10 miles for the NPT. I'm not going to need that for every day, but it's an average. And that's about 1,000 calories you're going to burn hiking 10 miles. So you've got to look that up online. Again, there's calculators out there. And everybody is a little bit different, so these are just rough estimates. But they get you close. They let you know if you're in the ballpark of what your expected calorie intake should be. The other part is your incline. Now the NPT is relatively flat besides one area through Blue Mountain, or around Blue Mountain Lake. And so it's pretty much negligible. You're talking 100 to 300 calorie difference at the very most. So I kind of scrapped it just to make it easy on me. So I need to be about 1,700 pounds, or 1,700 calories. If I hit 1,700 calories, it should get me through every day. And then there's two other things that I like to consider when making my my backpacking meal list, my meal plan, is the types of calories you're bringing. So are you typically somebody who tries the keto diet, or are you somebody who doesn't want a lot of fats in your diet at home? And if that's the case, you want to kind of transition that into the backcountry if at all possible. Obviously it'll be a little bit different because you have only so many options that you're willing to hoof into the backcountry. But for me personally, I do not eat a ton of carbs, but I like a low carb, high fat diet, but not keto diet. So I have most of my stuff is things like something like this. It's got fats, but not a lot of it. Let's see here. This has 22 grams of fats and 4 grams of carbs. So I'm looking at that kind of stuff as well as I decide what I want to bring and what I don't want to bring. So besides that, you just want to have some variation in your diet. You don't want to eat the same thing every day out on the trail. And without further ado, let's take a look at what I got. All right, so what I got here is all my meals laid out. and other options above it. So I'm going to go through one by one what we got. Now in the morning time, I am going to have either a polenta with pork and sausage by Packet Gourmet or a blueberry muffin by Wild Zora. I like this Wild Zora stuff. It's very healthy. So obviously I got my Waka coffee. On this meal, 370 calories, and on this one is only 250. So what I had to do was add one of these to make the caloric difference up. So on the days that I plan to have this, I will only have 2 of those. And on the days that I have this, I will have 3 of them. Moving on to lunch, I will have either a curry mango chicken salad or another type. There's like 3 or 4 different types that I bought, and I can switch out. And this is 430 calories. And what's nice is, again, it is low carb and high fat with 40 grams of protein. What I'll be able to do is add some tortillas to this. This is something you got to bring tortillas for if you want to make wraps out of, which is what my plan is. I'm going to get these green belly meals. I just got a ton of them anyway. The only thing I don't like about these, or there's a couple things I don't like about them, is the added sugars, 15 grams of added sugars, and they've only got 17 grams of protein. And they are high in carbs. So it's not my number one option, but they are good, and they are packed full of calories, and they will get you from point A to point B. Moving on, these are all my snacks right here. So I will have every day some about 200 calories worth of dried fruit. And I like this Wild Zora company because they are organic. You can see, read it right up here. But they're real good. I really, really enjoyed these on a backpacking trip. I also have my Myo Sports Energy sports drink. And that's really just to keep those electrolytes flowing during the day. And then these are great. These F-bombs. Look at this, 210 calories. 4 grams of carbs, 22 grams of fat. That's a really good option, and pretty lightweight. These are 120 calories a piece. So these are really nice. And again, same company, F-Bomb. So it is meant for people trying to use fats instead of carbs. Moving on is my main course, which will be either Texas State Fair chili, 680, or Shepherd's Cottage pie, 660, Tuscan beef stew, 560, or this All-American Works burger, 470. So obviously with this one and this one, I do plan to add wraps to them. Just because this one's a couple, about 100 calories off of what I would like. And then, obviously, this All-American Works burger is expected to have your tortillas. You can see, bring your own tortillas. And then finally, gotta have my Happy Hippos. Gotta have a dessert on the trail. So that is, in a nutshell, what I plan to eat every day. All right, so with all that being said, obviously I don't have on here the tortillas. They're about 80 to 90 calories a piece. And anything that I'm bringing for like an extra junk food, like trail mix or Doritos, stuff like that. And with everything on the table, I'm at about 2,650 calories every day, and that gets me pretty close to 2,700 or 2,680 more specifically that I was shooting for. But once you add in the trail mix or whatever I want for junk food, I'm easily at that 2,700. So the only other thing that I would say is I like to bring an extra meal just in case something happens, or maybe somebody else forgot a meal, or whatever the case is, I've got an extra meal to spare. Not everybody does that, and it is added weight, but usually I bring something like a ramen or something easy that I can just hand out or use if for whatever reason I'm just real hungry that night or whatever. But besides that, guys, that's everything. That's what I got for a meal plan so far. I hope it was informational. I know it was kind of a long video, kind of a lot of information. Might have been a little boring, but the information's there, and I hope it helps somebody out there who's struggling to make a meal plan or to know what to bring on the trail. So just leave a comment down below, guys, with any questions, comments, or anything you want to say in there. And like and subscribe to the channel, guys. It really would mean a lot to me. But until next time, see ya.